Hey everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented country music artist, Mr. Hub Reynolds Jr. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Been working up a reason to take a break here. I've shut everybody else down. All the doors are locked. I'm ready.
There we go.
Good.
Taking a break.
Let me introduce you to everybody, starting with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hi, and I've heard all about you, and Jimmy said that you lived in a box. Now,
It's not too bad a box.
going to hear all about that because I know a lot of men that would love to live in a box, like Angelina Jolie's box.
Oh.
But
You
were in a cardboard box, which is a little different.
Well, I've done my research on you, and as long as I can sing the old guys, I got it made.
Yeah, you're right.
I can do the Eagle Birds and the old Perry Como. So
Johnny Mathis.
Do Johnny Mathis.
Johnny Mathis, and you got it made.
And I'll be so nice to you.
Okay.
Hold on,
if you're nice to me at the end, we'll see if I have got to sing some Eagle Bird or something. I'll do it.
No, sing Chances Are, Johnny Mathis. And I'll go anywhere.
Hold on, let's finish our introduction. So let's say hi to the man behind the boards. We got Mr. Chad Murphy.
Hub, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Chad, been working with him for a little bit here.
That's right. We go way back.
And we got a chat room full of people. Literally, we've got Germany, the UK, Belgium, Estonia, the United States, Canada. We got people from all over the place tuned in, so say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello, everybody. Hello in the chat room and around the world. Yes, we're making noise today.
That's right. We've actually got both the Cody Prevost, who's also a country artist. You probably know him from Twitter and like his fan club. The people who run both of his fan clubs are in the chat room.
Right. I saw he was coming in to watch. I know there's a few. I got a few people in here looking.
There you go. Well, we're happy to hear that. So, everybody, this is Hub Reynolds Jr. First of all, you can follow him on Twitter at Hub Reynolds Jr. That's HUBREYNOLDSJR for Junior. So you have a very interesting story. First of all, Chad.
Wait a second. Where are you from in Texas?
No, he's not from. He's from Florida. He's in Florida.
You're Florida with that Texas accent?
No, born in Winter Haven. And between Winter Haven,
that's like Orlando.
You're a native Floridian, and you sound like a Texan. Jimmy's.
Well, I only spent 17 years in Florida and migrated to Hog Mountain, Georgia, and I got a little bit of years there, so that's probably where I picked up this accent.
You sound like a rough and tough rancho. Jimmy's a native from Florida, and he sounds like a Sissy Mary.
Thanks. I was actually born in South Florida, so I'm born. Actually, both of us went to high school in Jacksonville.
Exactly.
Except for that, I'm a little older than him, and so, or am I older than you? Right? Or I'm older.
I'm not saying. Today I'm 25.
Yeah, you and Ron.
Yeah, we're a couple of years apart.
No, I've been 25 for 50 years, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow I might feel 45, but today I feel 25.
You gotta love it. So Chad.
Yes, sir.
Have you? Because this is Hub Reynolds Jr. and his uncle was Hub Reynolds. Have you? Since you're a big country, Chad. By the way, Hub. Chad is a big country guy, and they perform all over South Florida as Chad and Heather with his fiance, because he just got engaged. Happy engagement! Congratulations, Chad. I forgot about that.
Thank you.
And so, Chad, have you heard of Hub Reynolds before? When was Hub Reynolds? Your Hub Reynolds like well known?
Hub Reynolds started in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And his first single came out in '63, I believe. Money Goes to Money. And he bumped heads with all the big ones, Johnny and Merle and Waylon and Willie and Tom T. Hall. So
the problem,
I stopped singing that country western.
Your father's from my time.
Uncle.
Your uncle is from my time, so he's got to be like my age now.
Exactly. He'd be, I think, 75 today.
Okay, so his song was called what?
He had several songs out there, and some of his biggest hits were Nightlife Cajun Man, and he did some remakes of Hank Williams songs for the Williams family, and actually, Hell, I'm Just Me, that debut single of mine, got worked in to be released. That was his last Billboard #1 hit, and that's the story behind the big story, is going to Nashville with one of mine. And they wanted to not go over another song that I'd already started one of mine and said, let's do one of your dads. So I did one of my dads. And
Okay.
Oh
it's
wait,
a
he's your
He's your
dad or your
father.
uncle? I thought he was your uncle.
It's a dad uncle mentor thing. He was more of a father to me, and I got used to calling him dad. And when he passed away, he willed me everything like I was his son. So in this business, you got to have a fan base. So I went ahead and took his name to grab that fan base and have something different, and to bring back the country western type sound that I have.
I love it. I think that's phenomenal. So Chad won't know who he is because Chad's too young. Chad's like a little baby.
But
What?
did his music ever go to like pop music? Because a lot of those.
No.
Patsy Cline was a country girl, but we used to get her music as regular music. It wasn't ever country. You know, like I Go Out Walking After Midnight. That was a big hit in the
Country
60s.
western music. They used to call it country western. I grew up singing.
Right, but we.
And it went to country music, and now it's got a lot of different things. But
Well,
I'm all about that old school.
in New York, they never called it country western because in Brooklyn, who knew from country western? They only knew from Brooklyn. So it's true. If you didn't play where Frank Sinatra sang at the Paramount Theater, you weren't in. So Patsy Cline was just considered a vocalist, and she was on the top 10 list of your hit parade. So was your father, uncle,
Right
that
there.
kind of singer?
Yeah, absolutely, with the George Jones and the Merles and the Willies and the Hank Juniors.
And I
He's
should
on
know.
the same Billboard chart as all of them.
I love that.
I should know his music.
I love the fact that you've taken his name also and that you're doing real country music, which everybody's going to hear in a minute because we're going to play your first single in a little bit. But I want to talk a little bit. So first of all, because I read, I Googled you, and lots of stuff is starting to come up about you all over the internet, and I think, which is a really good thing, by the way. So congratulations. And so basically, like, you can correct me as I go along. I'll just get the story started. But as a singer, I guess you were like singing along to one of your dad/uncle's songs, and somebody heard it and thought, "Oh my God, this kid can sing." And then what happened?
I was following a gold mine and a shaft divorce. Me getting the shaft, of course. And I was deciding what I was going to do. I retired back in 2006 as a home builder in Atlanta, and pretty much had to use my brain. I said, what am I going to do? So I was pursuing the classic hits of my dad, sitting in a car heading to Atlanta to the studio to remix them. And I had plugged in a cassette tape because that's all I had at that point, because we were remixing the master to go to CD to sell and distribute worldwide. So we're riding in the car with the cassette playing, and he turns it off, tells me to keep singing. And I said, well, keep singing what? He's singing that right there, boy. So I kept singing. He said, why aren't you singing? I said, man, I'm too old, bald head, no tattoos, no piercings. I don't wear them tight jeans. I'm old school. I sing country western. But, I'll give it a shot, I guess, if you think so. So they sent me to Nashville, and on a Monday I got up there, and I was going to cut one of mine, Country Girl Smile, and they said, let's do one of your dad's. So I cut that one of his on a Monday and hit national radio in Nashville on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, 2 days later, I was planning my PR around the world from one of the big boys. So.
Hey, it's never too late. Remember one thing.
And I would have never done this as a single man and a father. I couldn't have left my family and kids and wife and all that. But now that I can.
Now that you got the shaft, now you can go for it.
Yeah. Hey, I like that. She got the gold mine. Yeah, I got the shaft. So I took my shaft. Go ahead.
Hang on one sec.
Remember one thing in show business: you're never too old. Never too old to become a star or famous or to make money. Show business is the only business that you can be old like me and be in the #1 hit show. So think about it.
Well, I'm confident the way I've done some things and come at it in a different direction in the situation that I was in from the street up, and this I can tell that I'm being carried right now. I'm being carried, and it's a blessing, and it's very exciting. It's a dream come true. And I've written enough songs for the first 3 albums, and they're all true stories based on this journey that I've been through and my character and my life and kids, and great country songs.
Now, I hear they want to make a movie about your life. Is that so?
Right. There's A&E. I worked with Johnny Knoxville on a little bit of a music to the Evil movie, Being Evil. He got some of the music from me from Hub, because Hub did 3 albums for Evel Knievel. So we put a little music in that movie. But the A&E producer was interested also in the life story that I'm going through, along with another studio in Conyers, Georgia. So
tell us a little bit about you. I'm fascinated. What made you wind up living in a box? How did you hit such hard times?
Well, following a divorce, I was pushed to the street in a car, and tried that for about 3 months. I figured that wasn't going to work. So I, made a move to a truck, and then a move to a box trailer, and I'm prepared to survive for the next 6 years.
Oh, so it wasn't a box; it was a box trailer.
Like it wasn't a refrigerator car.
No, it was no. It's like a motorcycle travel trailer with no windows or anything. It had a door on it.
Oh, it's okay. You can fix that nice. Them curtains.
Oh yeah, it was okay.
No, there's no windows.
No, but you make believe.
Pictures.
You put curtains up.
Actually, I wrote a song about the box. It's called AFTO. It's a good song. Air Force Trailer One.
Okay. So
that song will be coming out. I got some great songs coming from this journey.
Okay, what put you together to get out of that situation?
Well, to get out of it, I survived every single day off what I could, and kept myself busy, and chose this music career, and worked every day for the past 6 years, probably 18 to 24 hours a day, hand up, and decided that I had something that I've been told as a gift, and it's my destiny, and I'm going to keep working to try to get there, and, it'll be a dream to stand up there and do what my uncle, dad, whatever you're going to call him. I've been doing it since I was 7, and to get paid to do something you love to do, and all I want's an old ranch and a barn and a chicken house. I don't need nothing special. And if I can help a lot of people with what I make, and that's what it's about. Love and giving back. Helping people.
Absolutely.
Chad loves that too. So hold on. So you have a song. This is is the Hell I'm Just Me? Is that the single that you recorded that day?
Yeah, let me give you. That's what they did. They said, well, you got one of your father's, dad's, whatever. I said, yeah, Hell I'm Just Me. He says, you know it? I said, no. He said, well, go back to the hotel and come back. And 2 hours later, I went back in there. And I went back in there, and I just sang like I was a teenager when I was driving my Trans Am in '79. And I just started singing it, and it just came out. It was like he was in there with me. It came out, and they waved me out of the music box and said, man, that was magic. I said, I can do better. He said, that was magic. So what it is a song that he wrote about all the things he did in music, motion pictures. He wanted to be everybody. And then he finally threw the towel in and says, you know what? Hell, I'm just me. And wrote that song, and he'd be rolling over right now if he knew where it was. But that's what the song's about. It's about being yourself. Hell, I
love it.
Well, country western music, by the way, is coming back big time. I mean, strong. It's selling a lot. There was a lull there for a while where people weren't doing it. The disco kind of killed country western, but now country western is very popular.
It's coming back, and
big time, fast. So you'll be on the top of the wave. You'll be on the crest of the wave.
And we're gonna hear what Chad thinks too, because
he's country western.
Chad's country western, and he doesn't really. We don't really ask him what he thinks a whole lot of the times when it's not a country person. But lately we've had some really great country people on, and so we're gonna let him chime in after we play it. But Chad, do you have Hell I'm Just Me available?
Ready to roll it.
All right, so here's what we want you to do, Hub. Say who you are and just introduce the song to everybody. We're going to play it, and then just hang on, and when it's over, we're going to talk some more.
Okay. All right, guys, get your boots, slide them on. This is a boot tapper. It's called Hell I'm Just Me by Hub Reynolds Jr. It is going to be good. Crank it up, Chad.
I wanted to walk and talk like John Wayne, and I wanted to write and sing like Hank, but I never did care for the Pilgrims, Lord, and I damn near pickled my brain with drains. And I wanted to ride in a chauffeur limousine. I did not want no little bug. I never could show real affection, baby, but nowadays I love to kiss and hug. And finally, I want it to be me. Finally, just me. Oh, hell, just me. Well, I wanted the cold eyes of Clint Eastwood, and I wanted the quick draw Jesse James. But nobody ever made my day, Lord. And hell, you know, I never did like trains. And I wanted to be on the silver screen, and I wanted to ride on Thunder Road. I never would help my troubled brother, Lord, but nowadays I help carry the load. And finally, I want it to be me. Finally, just me. Oh, hell, just me. I dreamed I was standing by my tombstone, but I heard nobody cry. Oh, they were laughing, they were drinking, Lord. That's when I realized I lived a lie. And finally, I want it to be me. What you get is what you see. Oh, hell, I'm just me. That's right. I ain't no Jesse James. You know, I tried to be old Hank. Couldn't handle that either. You know, folks, when you walk out of that theater that matinee on Saturday, you gotta return to being who you are. And as far as I'm concerned, hell, I'm just gonna be me. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be me.
All right, there you go, Jimbo.
Everybody, so that's Hell, I'm Just Me by Hub Reynolds Jr. And Chad, I want you to talk first. Everybody in the chat room loves it.
Well, I tell you what, if it can get your toe tapping like it got my toe tapping, that's a good start.
There you go.
First thing I tried to do is figure out who does he sound like, and I couldn't come up with anything. All I could pull out of there was some old Hank, like Hank Sr., mixed with a little bit of that cat who plays guitar for Alison Krauss. I can't remember his name. He did the Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Mixed it.
Yeah,
So that's what I was
do.
getting there, and I loved the piano in there. The awesome piano. So it was a good sound hub. You got a great sound going on, and all the luck. I give you the thumbs up.
Thank you. Thank you.
We don't hear it, Hub, so it's not like we're sitting here not liking it. We'll play it later in the car on the way to the movies.
Right.
Now, everybody out there listening, our audience, when we were off camera, I asked Hub exactly what was it that inspired him in 6 years to get out of a truck, and he said he found the Lord, Jesus Christ.
All right.
And I know so many people, my best friend Jane Russell, the actress, she was a Christian also, and it saved her life from alcoholism. So for a lot of people out there who really are destitute and don't know what to do, suicide is not the answer. And living in the hollow or the swallow, whatever you want to call it, is not the answer. If Jesus is going to drag you up and make you feel good and make you do better things, then by all means believe in Jesus. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's not a sin to believe in Jesus, and it's not a sin not to believe in Jesus.
Well, actually, it is, but
No, it's not, because if you're Jewish and other religions,
that's true.
they don't believe in Jesus. But
let Hub tell it a little
yeah,
bit.
so Hub, fill us in on, like, how did you get inspired? How did you find Jesus? How did you?
Would you say did I fight him?
What?
No, fine.
How did
Fine.
you?
Now,
Yeah, in
listen,
other words,
I've been a Christian-raised, corn-fed country boy since I was 2.5 years old when my mom got me Sandy. And ever since then, I followed and walked a narrow path. So it's not that I found him when this began. I had him, and I knew where to go for direction. I went to the Bible because I didn't find him. I already had him. I had to learn his path, and that's the path I took. And then I followed my heart on the rest of the stuff. Next thing I know, I'm writing these songs, and you know, it's happening.
You know who Jane Russell is, don't you, the movie star?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, she was my best friend. And Jane said to me, the Lord gives you a path to follow. And sometimes you fall off that path. And when you do, he rubs your nose in it. And that happened with her when she had sex with her football player husband, Waterfield, and became pregnant. And she had an abortion, and the abortion was a mistake, and it ruined her, and she was never able to have children. She adopted. But she formed WAIF. And Jane said to me, that was the Lord's path. He wanted me to get pregnant, to get ruined, so I couldn't have children, so I could adopt children in Europe and pass the law where European children can come to this country to be adopted. And Jane Russell is responsible for WAIF. So the Lord does work in strange ways. Now, you said you were always a Christian, and Jane said she was always a Christian. She resented it when people said you're a born-again Christian. She said, no, darling, I've always been a Christian. I just fell off the path a few times, and drinking was one of them. But she got back on the path. So everybody out there, if you need something to get you going, why not try Jesus?
It's free.
That's right. It's free.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely not. I love it. I think the whole thing. I think you have a very inspirational story. I think that you've been through lots of highs and lows. I mean, you went from like living in big houses and building big houses and having a family to living in a truck with a box, whatever you call it, a box trailer. You know, you had a gift in country music that you didn't even know you had, and you came about later in life. Everybody loves it, so everybody loves everything that you're doing with the music and thinks it's fabulous. Tell us a little bit about so you've written enough songs for 3 albums. Like, how many songs have you got? Have you got stuff recorded yet besides your single?
How many albums?
I've got all of my dad's stuff, Hub Senior stuff. Whatever, uncle, whatever you're going to call him. There's a story coming out about that. And since this journey started, I started writing and have enough now for my first 3 albums. And at this point, I'm composing. I do my own marketing, and it's a lot of intense hours. And I'm at the point of trying to compose the music and get it charted to be ready to go in the studio. But yes, I'm ready for my first 3 albums with the songs all written by me, all stories, all great. And I want to release it. I have a thought of releasing it like a novel. As the track comes, it's going to be at that time in my life in this story. So each song you'll see as it progresses in these stories, it's just amazing. This has all been documented. It's just amazing story that's coming out. Behind the music is bigger than the songs. But yes, I'm presently pushing my own marketing and fundraising, sponsorship, and that's all it's going to take. Once we get to national radio, I think everybody will be tapping.
And I think one thing, it might come out wrong when I say it, but I think that the fact that, like if you're going to be on The Voice, they pick the people who have good backstories, and I think the same thing going to radio and a lot of the beginning having more opportunities, that I think that you have such an incredible backstory that it gives you an advantage, maybe over someone who has lots of money and just puts the music out.
They want interesting.
Because you're an interest story, a human interest story, and human interest stories are what people like.
Human interest sells all the time. That's why our people in the chat room wanted to know more about what inspired you and what made you change your whole course of life. And you have to give those answers. You just can't go out and say, I lived in the box and then I became a famous singer. Well, what the hell happened between the box and the singing?
Right.
So that makes you interesting, and it gives you, as Jimmy said, a good backstory. But I'm glad for you, and I'm happy for you, and I know you're happy now, and you're on your way to great success, because from what Chad said, he never says that that good stuff.
I think we've had about 8 country singers
Yeah,
on, and
he's
5 of them he doesn't say a word.
He's never said it. He's never said he tapped his foot. I mean, that's a biggie for Chad.
Yeah.
Tapping his foot is a biggie.
Thank you, Chad. Hey, well, you send me the
That's a
address.
super duper
I'll
one.
get a care package to you guys so you can slide that CD in the vehicle. You
Yeah.
crank that up. You crank it up in the truck.
Because unfortunately we don't hear the music. Florida, for some reason, or they send us. We transmit from Florida. They haven't figured out a way yet to send us the music. We have everything.
We used
else.
to be able to hear it.
We
Now
did,
can't.
and then something happened.
Chad, what happened with that? You know?
Man, don't
'Cause
bring that up. I don't know what happened. Computers are computers, and we deal with what we deal with. So
Sometimes we can hear it, and sometimes
I
not.
feel
but
badly. Bad or badly? Bad.
badly.
Bad. No, bad.
because you don't do your homework, and you just want to hear it live.
I know it. I've listened.
No,
I have
no,
listened
but
to Hell I'm Just Me about 60 times
Yeah,
this week.
I
so-
understand. That's Ron's thing,
but
though.
Chad,
I
Chad,
understand. I understand.
the success to my interviewing for
Here
so
we
many
go.
years is I never research
We got it.
any of my guests.
Right.
Because then the questions become corny and boring
Spontaneous.
like everybody else.
Yes, got it.
So I ask whatever comes into this demented
I
brain.
like that about you, Ron.
You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
never research.
So you guys, this is Hub Reynolds. You guys, he is going to be the next big. It might not happen tomorrow, but he's going to be one of the next big country superstars. You're going to see him on CMA and all kinds of stuff. He's going to be performing. You want to so to let us know, is Hell I'm Just Me? Is it available to download everywhere?
Yes, it's available to download pretty much everywhere. CD Baby is the quickest, easiest way to get it. And I have been re-invited to go back up to the CMAs for 2018. I got that invitation to come back for that festival. So I'll be up there in Nashville during then, and still working and marketing and getting the music composed and pushing ahead.
Like I know how much work it is to market something on your own because I do that with our show, and we're like 7 years I think into it, and it took a long time, really to get it down. And so the fact that you're doing it by yourself and you're starting to really get a lot of people to take notice is a tribute to you, because I actually know how hard that actually is to do. And so we want to say congratulations on that.
And we'll see you at the Country Music Awards.
And everybody says that they love the way that Ron's questions are all real in the chat room because you don't know who the people are.
Yeah.
No, because once you know who look, the famous people that come on that are friends of mine, I can't help it. I know them socially. I know they're bullshit. But if I researched him, it wouldn't come off like it comes off, because I like to feel like we're in a kitchen right now with Entenmann's crumb cake and coffee.
Right.
And there's nobody around, and you just bullshit like buddies do. And that's how I've always interviewed great legends of Hollywood. Lauren Bacall, Cliff Robertson, big movie stars, Academy Award winners. I interviewed them the same way. I never did that Miss Lauren and all that shit. Hey, Lauren, what's going on? And that's what people want. People want to hear the nitty gritty. They don't want to hear the publicity. They don't want to hear you brag about all the bullshit you got. They want to know, who are you? What are you all about? How did you get there? And how come I'm not you? And how come I'm not a singer like you? People want to know that. What the hell did you do to make you so special that you're going to win all kinds of Grammy Awards? That's what people want to know. They don't want to know the other bullshit. And that's what made me a very successful interviewer for like 100 years.
And I think that your things are going to be very fabulous for you guys. Please, you guys, he is an indie artist, and so if you can download Hell I'm Just Me, every little thing helps, because putting out 3 albums costs lots of money, and everything costs money in this business.
Money isn't the word.
Like lots of money. And so if you're a record label listening and you're a really big one and you want to do some sponsorships or sign him for some big money, you'd be smart to do so. And you can follow him on Twitter at Hub Reynolds Jr. His Facebook page, I think, is also Hub Reynolds Jr., isn't it, Hub?
Yes. Absolutely.
And definitely get the song Hell I'm Just Me, and follow him on Twitter, you guys. He's super nice on Twitter. He follows back. Everybody in the chat room loves everything. I've even got Hannah Clive in the UK to share stuff with her, and she's happy to share it for you. She's at Hannah Clive on Twitter. She says if you she's a great backing vocalist and a great indie artist also. And we had her on the show a couple weeks ago and on our Christmas show. But everybody in the chat room loves it, and I think that you're going to be very successful. And again, you know, everybody who like follows me on Twitter and stuff, we're all about helping support you, getting to the next level. And we want to thank you for coming on the show.
And what I've got to say is, a lot of people are born into success. Third generation, second generation. My respect for you is far higher than any of them, because you have been in hell and you got out of hell. And now you're going to skyrocket up to fame. So my friend, hats off to you and my greatest respect to who you are and what you're doing. And I wish you the best success. And I hope one day to meet you and you say, excuse me, but I don't know you. So I can punch you in the face.
No, hey, thank you very much. Ron, when I see you, I'm going to go, there's that little Gambino guy. I love it. He looks like the Gambino guy. So, yeah, I can't wait to see you guys. And I'm going to send you
We will come to hear you play in L.A.
Yeah.
We will come. I'm serious. We go to all our people. We go to concerts. We're going to one Friday. We have two girls that we love.
Alternate next Friday.
And next Friday we're going to their
We got to go.
show.
We got to go. It's 4:50.
Okay,
so.
got to go. Pleasure.
Thank you, Jimmy.
God bless you
Thanks.
and all that you do.
Bye-bye.
We'll be in touch.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. And anybody else, if you need backing vocals for anybody, Hannah Clive is a great singer, and she's done backing vocals for Ray Charles. So if you need her, follow her on Twitter at Hannah Clive. Chad, thank you so much. Chat room, everybody, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week, and have a fabulous weekend. Bye, everybody.
This is MC I'm just chilling, Superstar sitting down and designing. Where every man never thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars. He'll dress you right. You'll feel like a star. We'll hook you up. Now you look sexy. Your game is tight. Gonna get laid tonight. You need Jimmy Star. Jimmy Star. You need Jimmy Star. Jimmy Star.
One day I was walking down the street. My mate come up to me and said, "Hey mate, wanna go to a party?"